I am Gregor Mendel. I was born in the Czech Republic on July 20th, 1822, and I died on January 6th, 1884.
My name is Nikolai Tesla. I was born on July 9th, 1856 in Austria. My work is very influential. It's seen all throughout the world today, mostly with everything to do with electronics. In my time, I was called a crazy man for trying to pioneer the generational transmission and alternating current AC electricity. But something that's even more important than my work is my influence. Nowadays, most things that you see that are electronic are from me or inspired by me. In fact, I'm so inspiring, Elon Musk named his own car company, Tesla, after me.
My main discovery was heredity and gene inheritance and dominant and recessive genes. My discovery is still the most current information and accurate that we have on this subject today, and it has not altered since. Today, my work is still used to determine and see how likely we are to have a gene passed down by our parents. This is common in humans, animals, and plants. My view on religion, I am a strong, devoted Christian, and I believe science truly proves God and makes him more amazing, even down to the little minute details we see in everyday life.
My view on religion is very complicated. Even though my father growing up was an Orthodox church minister, that did not completely relate to me as I got into adult. I would say I didn't have an exact form, and there could be a God or there could not be. For me, it's undecided.
My most important discovery was the monohybrid and dihybrid cross. This is the main way that we see how genes are passed down. As a child, I was very poor, so it was hard for me to receive good education, but despite adversity, I still made an impact in our world. Some challenges I faced while working in the field were not being able to promote myself. At the time, it was very hard to communicate with one another. My discovery has helped the world today because using a monohybrid and dihybrid cross, it can help people to know if they have a disease from their parents or ancestors. Knowing this information can make them have better life expectancy and live longer.
Like I said before, I inspired a lot of new scientists with my electronics, but the biggest thing and the most important thing I ever invented was the induction motor, which is an electric motor in which the electric current in the rotor that proceeds circuit is obtained by electromagnetic induction from the magnetic field or the stator winding. As I said before, science was a very important thing from an early age, and it did go against my father's religion at first, which did create a disagreement between me and him, which lasted years. The most surprising things about my invention was that it actually worked. For years and years, it was thought to be impossible to even create something semi-close to it, and I skipped multiple parts and just did it, which is something that got me a ton of respect, but also a ton of craziness. But one of the biggest things I regretted was ever selling the induction motor. I sold it in July 1888, and I never got the rights to it.
My studies about the monohybrid and dihybrid cross were seen as very different at the time because they took a more statistical approach and look at things, while other scientists' inventions and ideas did not. My most surprising find was about how traits actually were passed down in the process in which they were inherited by the next generation.
One thing I also did hope that I would find was an ability to live longer than humans had ever lived before, but unfortunately, this did not happen, as I died in New York City at the New Yorker Hotel on January 7th, 1943. My legacy was great, but at the time I died, I was penniless and called a failure.
Though we had very different ideas and inventions, both of our findings were important to mankind.
That is an absolute true fact.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK-12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening, and stay tuned for more.